Welcome back in, loyal KEW fans. We are, whilst pensively keeping an eye on the weather outside to make sure my washing does not get drenched. Also going to just double check that we are, of course, recording here. This is what we need to know. Just double check that we are. There we go, indeed. We are live and ready to get underway here then, ladies and gentlemen, with a thrilling evening's action here. We'll see things kicking off with the Mystery taking on Miss Tash. Mystery, of course, the now #1 contender for the Hardcore Championship after winning that fatal four-way. Another disappointment for the Coven. And the Coven look to take a measure of revenge here with Miss Tash taking on the Mystery. We'll have to see whether she's able to get a measure of revenge for the rest of her Coven members here to save face and save a bit of embarrassment, if you like. Or will the Mystery come out and prove victorious again? He is an athlete who's seeing his star up and down at the moment in the KEW, but there's a real opportunity for him. A good win here over the Tash, and it'll do him all the favours in the world in getting a good run of form going before taking on the BFG for the Hardcore Championship. I'm sure the BFG will be watching eagerly backstage here, keeping an eye on the competition. Of course, I'm sure many of the women here in the KEW arena will be hoping that the big fella makes a appearance at some point this evening. He's not on the card, we can say, officially. There doesn't look like there's many women in the crowd. They've obviously seen the card pre-match and decided that it wasn't worth them turning up, not to see the big man in action. They want to see the jiggling rolls, not the delightful Tash and the Mystery. A little pat on the tummy there, and the Tash will hope to have a recompense here. She's been a little bit out of favour with the Coven recently, so she'll look to try and build on what form she can here. A good win against the Mystery in this one, though, and that would really cement her as one of the athletes who perhaps deserves more opportunities within the Coven's ranks. The Coven, of course, the favourites at the moment being the Ploughman and the Tarantula, their favourite two attack dogs, just behind, of course, their sultry leader, the dark force that is Miss Kasuj. As Miss Tash makes her way to the top of the rope then and shows the Tash off to the KEW fans who are ready and eager for this one. I don't blame them. It should be a good display of technical wrestling versus a hard chopping and kicking action from the Tash there in the ring. We'll have to see who comes out on top from this one. And there goes the bell as the Mystery comes out immediately with furious rights and lefts and a little kick to the guts as well. Pushes the Tash down to the ground and lifts her up. And oh, the big knee straight to the face. You can see immediately there she's holding her face. She's trying to smash the moustache off potentially as she rolls around on the floor, and he takes in the adoration of the KEW faithful. Another cheeky punch to the face on the floor and an elbow right to the ribs. And Miss Tash slow back to her feet already here. A slow starter in this one. The Mystery is looking to maybe get things put away really quickly here. The big vertical suplex there and goes for the pin immediately. Could this be a very swift victory up to a 2? And a kick out there. This is only a 3-match card this evening, ladies and gentlemen. A shorter edition of KEW Live coming at you as we're allowing some of the athletes to rest after a frantic few weeks with the main pay-per-view event, which of course saw many injuries to a whole host of different athletes in the KEW. James the Cat, of course, is suffering a major injuries that have ruled him out for a significant period of time, and of course we're all saddened to hear about the injuries to Benji that have ruled him out for months and months, it appears. An indefinite timeline labelled on his potential return to the KEW. It's sad to see, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody likes to see the top athletes in the KEW injured, and he was promised by the Skeleton King that he would, of course, destroy Benji and end his career. But no one wanted to see it end in such a fashion. We're up to a 7 count here, by the way, up to an 8 now, and Miss Tash looks to slide in the ring and maybe get a count-out victory. That would be a shock for the crowd. She's got a back turn, though. The Mystery slides in a 9 and catches her at the last second. Big shot to the spine, into the rope she goes, and a big elbow there. driving her back down as they continue their action in the ring after the Mystery looked like he was getting the upper hand on the outside, continuing his assault. Now Miss Tash looks like she might have reversed fortunes. Good Hurricanrana there, sending the Mystery down to the ground, but he's quickly back to his feet, and another butterfly suplex there, sending Miss Tash careering across the ring. She grips the back, perhaps the spine playing havoc for her. Up to the top rope goes the Mystery as he diving knee strike off the top rope. Goodness gracious me, takes the bow and the applaudits of the crowd, and another shot to the face of the Tash, trying to do the damage to the moustache and maybe try and rip it off her noggin if at all possible. And I'm questioning whether there is rain outside already, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just pause and have a... Sorry for the interruption there, ladies and gentlemen. There was a small washing based issue, a large significant portion of it on the line, which has now been rescued safely along with one tortoise, and led to some rather wet glasses as we get a butterfly pin here from the Mystery. A 2 count, 3, and there it is. He picks up the victory swiftly and succinctly. And hang on a minute, that's the BFG's theme tune. Oh, here he is on the top of the stage, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like he's calling the Mystery out. Look at this, he's up at the top of the ramp, ready to go for the Mystery anytime, any place. The Mystery says, whenever you're ready, big fella, I'll take your title off you right now. Goodness gracious me, the Mystery dealing with Miss Tash swiftly and succinctly, and then turning his attention immediately to the BFG. The BFG calling him out. He's ready for him to try and go for that Hardcore Championship whenever he's ready to cash that number one contenders token in. Our second match for the evening then is one for the mid-ranks really, or the bottom end of that championship rankings. We'll see the Firefighter take on the Man Crusher, a member of the tag team champions, the Power Couple of course. And the Firefighter is a man who has recently dipped out of the tag division, having seen his partnership with Atomic Andy come to a somewhat ceremonial end. They parted on both good terms, the pair of them, saying that there's maybe something they'll revisit in the future, but for now they're focusing on their individual careers in the KEW. They both want to be KEW champions. At the moment, Andy's slightly ahead of him in the rankings. Andy, of course, had the number one contenders match just last week, lost it by a controversial count-out, which is why they're having a redo this evening, ladies and gentlemen. The CEO has said, fine, if it's so controversial, then we'll call it a 2 or 3. If Tange wins again tonight, then you can't complain. We'll have to hope it's in not so controversial fashion. But the Firefighter will be focused on the match at hand here. He will be focused not on his former tag team partner, he'll be focused on getting himself up the KEW power rankings, and he knows that a win here against one half of the tag team champions, as you can see, the Torpedo with the belt around his waist as he goes for a little smooch with the Power Couple that are the Man Crusher and the Torpedo. Arm in arm, down to the ring they come. The Man Crusher, of course, recently lost the KEW title to the Assassin. The Assassin now the holder of that belt. The Man Crusher will think to herself, I shouldn't be in matches against jobbers like this. But will that be her underdoing? Taking the Firefighter lightly. It could be a lively one. It could be a frisky one, this one. And they could be two absolute powerhouses going at one another. The Man Crusher, if she gets on a roll, we've seen already in the KEW, she can absolutely destroy and wreck people left, right and centre. And of course, the Firefighter is one of the athletes in the KEW who starts slowly, but it's his legendary endurance that keeps him in matches. Once he gets a little bit going, he really comes to the foray. There then is the Firefighter ready and raring to go. The Man Crusher looking focused on the task at hand as well. She'll know, of course, that her man on the outside has had a recent issues with the Budget Magician as well. And how much is that going to play into the focus of the Man Crusher, with the pair of them dueling out between each other for the arm, if you like, of the Man Crusher, as it were. And at the moment, the Torpedo having the upper hand in that one for now. Still gets to accompany his lady into the ring. Off the ropes goes the the Man Crusher now. Now goes, oh, the Firefighter as well. Big clothesline there, driving the Man Crusher down to the ground. Massive power bomb as well. And as I mentioned, that distraction, if you like, for the Man Crusher, having the uncertainty around her relationship with the Torpedo, brought it into question. Well, that could really play havoc with her here in the KEW. Where will her focus be? It looks early doors as if her focus is going to be elsewhere, and you can see the torpedo waiting on the outside. Oh, suicide dive though from the Man Crusher, absolutely destroying the firefighter on the outside. Now is driven into the steps by the Man Crusher as well. Vicious assault here on the outside from the beast that is, ramming the face into the floor. The beast that is the Man Crusher, driving the face again into the matting on the outside. She is a violent customer. She's shown plenty of aggression, plenty of testosterone since she's come flying into the KEW. Perhaps that's due to the bulk of her muscles. Hops over the top rope and back into the ring, and now taking the chance to show her muscles off to the KEW faithful. Off the rope she goes here. Good athleticism, gets hold of the firefighter around the head and swings him round and down with the legs. Now getting hold of the arm and ramming that into the matting as well. And the firefighter, I said he starts slow, but he is one of those with his legendary stamina. Even if he starts slowly, he can quickly turn a match around. Once he gets a bit of momentum going, he's driven back first into the matting here. And you can see another one clutch in the back here. A lot of athletes with sore backs in the KEW. Maybe you'll have to get a KEW chiropractor on staff here. Onto his knee now is the firefighter as the Man Crusher waits patiently in the corner, back to his feet. And now the Man Crusher dives off but misses it completely. It looked like the firefighter managed to lull her into a false sense of security, but he's too slow there. Sees that one coming there with a little shot to the legs and a few kicks up the arse for good measure. Now off the ropes here, a little catching stunner there, dropping her down to the floor. Goes the Man Crusher, goes for the cover, does the firefighter, gets a 1 count there, and she rolls her shoulder. Not enough to put her away just yet. Perhaps the firefighter taking her a little too lightly there. It is an athlete that he won't have come across too much so far in the KEW. The Man Crusher ramming the head now down into the floor and dropping the arms from the axe handle square across the face of the Man Crusher, and a big stomp as well to the face, doing the reverse here where the Man Crusher was trying to deliver the damage to the firefighter on the outside to the head. He's now doing it in the ring, but a switch in fortunes here. Off the ropes she goes, and then a big driving knee strike straight to the face of the firefighter. Goes for the cover immediately afterwards as well. And you can see the torpedoes impressed. Gets a 2 count there. And the firefighter looks in all kind of bother here. He's taken the Man Crusher far too lightly. She goes for the kick up, and the little run around is resting on the ropes here. And he could be in big trouble here. Oh, went for it off the ropes, but she saw him coming, or he saw her coming rather. Bounced her down off the ropes. Rolls her in between the legs. Up she goes with another vicious power bomb there from the firefighter. Goes for the cover immediately as well, maybe thinking that the switch in momentum was enough to try and put her away. Back to her feet now, he rolls her back up, and then up onto the shoulder she goes, and down she comes off the fireman's carry. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, just a 2 count there though. Still enough left in the Man Crushing tank as she jumps back to her feet, showing she has plenty left in the tank here. And now the two of them exchanging blows in the rings, rights and lefts. Furious shots taken by both customers here. The Man Crusher not leaving anything in the tank. She's determined not to lose this one to the firefighter. She knows it could be disastrous for her KEW power rankings. A slip now could see her fall down from being like the 3rd or 4th contender right down to the bottom. It's not what the Man Crusher wants. It's not what she needs either particularly. More furious shots being exchanged. Now blows from both competitors here, both of them putting it on the line. You can see the real engine of the firefighter coming to the foray. Oh, ducks under that one. Big shoulder charge there. Off the ropes again, and another shoulder tackle takes her down completely, tells her to get back to her feet. Ducks under that shot. High into the air she goes, and down she comes onto the back here, and the firefighter looks pumped and ready now. It looks like the Man Crusher might be seeing the end here. The firefighter has had the little renaissance in the middle of the match, as he often does here. And now look at this. Gives it a little shuffle, ready for the firearm to be installed. A little jiggle here. Here it comes. Bang! Right into the attic. Right on top of the noggin. And then goes for the cover here. Is that enough to put the Man Crusher away? 1, 2, 3. It is indeed a good cover for the firefighter. He will take that one, and think he's had a good evening's work there. A good victory for him. Look at that, he's absolutely amped, and you can see the torpedo not particularly impressed on the outside of watching his opponent dance around the ring. Blood dripping from the face of the firefighter. Not sure when he got split open, perhaps on the outside at some point. Looks like I might have caught him just above the eye socket. We'll have to monitor that one and see if there's any lasting damage there. Maybe a black eye for him in the future, ladies and gentlemen. Might need a week off or so to recover from that one, but a good win for the firefighter. We'll move then to our last match match for the evening. And this will see the Tanj taking on Atomic Andy. These, of course, the run back from last week where we saw Atomic Andy lost the match by the count out. Controversially, it was a 10 as he appeared to have fingers under the ropes but not a shoulder. He'll claim that fingers should count, so the CEO has said, let's have a redo then, best 2 of 3, and you see Andy in the ring, ready and waiting. Tanj is there, and oh, it's Mark from behind. What's he doing? The Skeleton King refused to not get involved again here. You know he's had issues with Tanj in the past. The axe handle to the back, the head to the stairs, the referee not impressed, and now Tanj looks like he's in a rough way in the corner. He's just had his face bounced off the steel steps, jumped from behind by the Skeleton King, and Andy will think this is a gift horse here. Tanj looks woozy already to start this one. There goes the bell, and Tanj exploding out, misses his first punch. Both men missing completely there. I'm not sure what Andy's excuse was, but Tanj now getting the upper hand. Andy really missed the gift horse there as it was staring him in the face. Mark coming out and attacking the Tanj. Well, we've seen, of course, Mark take down Benji in the KEW, and he, of course, has had his issues with Tanj as well. The Tanj was able to get the victory over him in the tag team match, where he tagged up with Benji, his arch nemesis, to take on Mark and the monster as it was. Mark then, of course, the special guest referee in a match between the Tanj and the demon himself, the Shinigami. And of course it was the Shinigami who came out victorious there, with Mark being the most biased referee going. And Mark has been putting things out on social media saying, don't worry, my next target is in my sights. It's been posting plenty of pictures of oranges. We should have guessed, really, ladies and gentlemen, from the disturbing imagery that he's been putting up of him eating oranges and him devouring them, that his target was going to be the Tanj man. It was a mystery, though, to many a KEW fan. No one was sure. Perhaps it was a rare message that he was going after the Man Crusher, or there was something in it of that nature, ladies and gentlemen. But it appears that he has chosen to set his sights on the Tanj man. And it is a dangerous target to set your sights on. We have, of course, seen the Tanj knock off the Shinigami, and he's now doing battle here with Atomic Andy, who is a 2-3 competitor, if you like. It's how you want to rank the two of these KEW athletes. And, of course, the firefighter will be right up there in the rankings now as well. Mark obviously saying to the CEO, I should be in the conversation as well. I should be one of your premier athletes in the KEW, or perhaps he's just got a vengeance here that he wants to take out the Tanj. The Tanj with that reverse busting crab, and Andy powering out of it. You see, it looks like Andy's been split open there. Maybe there was something that was dug into the turnbuckle. Maybe Mark was going to try and assault Tanj into that turnbuckle as it was early doors in the match, but the referee managed to get in the way and break that one up. Andy goes for the cover here, 2 count, and Tanj rolls the shoulder, and now Tanj got to really try and defy the odds after the early assault from Mark. And now Andy is stomping his way around him, scoops him up off the floor, onto the shoulder he goes. Is it time for an atomic drive? It is indeed. Down goes the Tanj, slammed into the mat, goes for the cover. Has Tanj got anything left in the tank to kick out? Does he know what day of the week it is? He gets the shoulder up just about, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how on earth he has anything left here after having his head bounced off the steel stairs early doors, and the assault viciously from Mark across the back of the Tanj and the head, and Andy looking to take full advantage of it here. Rolls out of the way of that damage. Oh, and their big clothesline there, and now looks pumped and fired up. Maybe he heard the commentators talking big snapping drive there. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and then he gets a shoulder up at 2. And you wonder if that was the momentum lost there for Tanj. It was a furious explosion of offense, but could that be enough? Bouncing his head off the turnbuckle now is Andy, and you have to wonder if Andy takes this to the outside. Is that going to be good night Vienna for Tanj? Hobbling out of the corner now. Andy gets hold of the Tanj, a big suplex there, drives him down, but Tanj up again, furiously exploding, trying to get back into this match. He needs a bit of a momentum shifter, if you like. A big elbow from Andy, a more big right and lefts to the head and body of Tanj. Catches that one, and a big headbutt there. I don't know, that shows that's a wise move from Tanj, having had his head bounced off the steel on the outside of the ring, the steel stairs. Furious shots to the back now from Tanj, and again to the back of Andy, and then a Tanj knockout out of nowhere. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, I thought it was going to be 3. Just a 2 count there. Tanj not happy with that. Rolls him over. going after the knee now of Atomic Andy, slamming it into the floor. Well, what an explosive move out of nothing, ladies and gentlemen. The Tange knockout out of absolutely nowhere, now stomping the guts of Andy in the step over as well. Working that large tummy area, picks Andy back to his feet. Scoops him up, the power now on display, carrying to the rope, drops him head first onto the ropes there, neck first, choking him, and down he goes onto the top turnbuckle. Here's the Tange, diving elbow, but missed it completely, went for the high flying there, and Andy saw it coming, but he manages to not take advantage of his opponent's mistake, and now Tange over and under he goes, and then jumping on the top of Atomic Andy with a Fez press, a la Steve Austin, furious shots to the face as Andy rolls to the outside, as does Tange now. Andy down on the floor, Tange looking to make the most of this, his opponent slow and sluggish it appears. I thought that the assault from Mark might prove pivotal here. He rolls him over at the last second there, though, does Atomic Andy. You can see the commentators out of the way of the desk already. They fear that a man might be going through it. Back into the ring goes Tange, though no fear of that here this evening. Over the top ropes comes Andy. He's a little slow there, but crushes him down now. The big chest drive there. And down goes the Tange in between the legs. Now he goes onto the shoulder here and down on his face, bouncing off the mat. Here's Tange, and is this going to be it for Andy? Is he going to put Tange away here with another atomic drive? It looks like he's trying to get him in position for it. Pulls him out of the corner. No, goes for the cover instead. Well, I'm surprised by that. I thought he'd go for another atomic drive. 2 count, and Tange kicks out here. As mentioned, the atomic drive really should have gone for that. He beats him out in frustration, but it's really almost a rookie error from Atomic Andy. I guess he's not too used to the singles game. As he slams Tange face first into the floor. Not used to the singles game, he's used to the tag team action. Perhaps he thought he had his man beat. Maybe the tag division's a little weaker than the singles. Big elbows in the corner as Tange flops out of the corner, and Andy ready and poised now, scoops Tange onto the shoulder, and here comes the atomic drive, driving Tanges down onto the matting, hooks the leg, 1, 2, and a kick out from Tange. And now Andy has to be questioning to himself, what have I got to do to put him away here? 2 atomic drives, and that big drive off the shoulder as well, where he slammed him face first, and now has a little laugh. It looks maniacal really there. Goes for the stomp. Tange rolls out of the way, and a kick to the ribs. Manages to swing the momentum back in the Tange's way. Into the ropes goes Andy. Big press there, sending him careering down. Tange sweeps the hands, goes for the cover nonchalantly. 2, and a kick out there from Andy. 2 casual from Tange. He should know better now. Going for the assault on Andy as he can't quite get back to his feet, but blocks it there, and then gets a little shot to the large midriff section of the Tange. Shakes him into the corner, rams his head into the turnbuckle, and the blood's now evident from the Tange. You can see dripping from his head. Maybe there was something loaded in that turnbuckle as well that Mark had in surprise for the Tange man, or maybe he took some of the stuffing out of the corner pad so it's a little looser, bouncing his face off of the metal that's underneath it. Clearly done significant damage to the Tange. He's blooded here as he pushes the Atomic Andy off of him, and now Andy crawls back to his feet in the corner and then gets up and catches the Tange before he can manage to get hold of him. Into the corner he goes, bouncing off it and throws him now across the ring, and Tange is looking in a desperate way here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not what the KEW fans would want to see. Up goes the Tange onto the shoulder again. This could be it. Down he comes, and Andy crawls over him and goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, there it is. Andy getting a draw, if you like, in the 2 of 3. Tange rolls out of the ring, and Andy looks pleased to have got the victory. He'll know that it was many a thanks to Mark, and you can see the blood dripping off him. Both men really giving it their all in this one. And Tange, knowing now that the series is drawn, he will not be happy with Mark. He'll have to watch his backstage and see that the Skeleton King doesn't assault him again. And Andy, of course, will be focused on the task at hand. He knows there's another match coming against the Tange, and if he wins that, he's the #1 contender for the KEW title. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Join us next week for more thrilling KEW actions. Lots of questions to be answered, and we'll try and get through them all next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.